Now then guys, how you doing? I hope you're well. I thought I'd do a little bit of a video today on a new guitar which I've just picked up, which is this Epiphone ES339. Very cool guitar. I originally had the Gibson custom shop version of the 339. It was my first proper Gibson, and I absolutely loved that guitar. But stupidly I sold it to buy a 335, and I love the 335 as well. But this always looked a little bit funny on me, did this body shape, because it is such a small body, and I'm a bit of a unit. It looked like a bit of a toy in my hands. But I love the sound, and I love the way that it played. So I've always wanted to get an Epiphone ES339, or certainly try one to see what it's like compared to the Gibson equivalent, because the price difference is fairly significant. So one of these popped up on Facebook Marketplace, this one, in this colour. So I was looking specifically for this colour, and I'll come back to that shortly. Popped up in Doncaster, and I went through to pick it up yesterday. Or Doncatraz, as we call it. Yeah, so I went through to pick it up yesterday, and it'd been neglected and a little bit unloved, had this guitar. It was covered in dust and dirt. You'll see a little bit on the fingerboard on the playing as well. I haven't managed to quite scrape it all off yet. There was quite a bit of gunk on it. I don't think it had been played for a few years. So I cleaned it up, or tried cleaning it up last night, give it a little bit of TLC, and I've been playing it today, and I'm absolutely blown away by it. I can't quite describe how impressed I am with it. So just spec-wise, so we've got proper Grovers on the back, rosewood fingerboard. That's getting rarer on guitars nowadays. Certainly lower end guitars, just because of, obviously, it's an expensive wood and it's running out. So I know Fender have been using Pau Ferro, so you tend to get it on more high end guitars. But the 339s, as far as I'm aware, they still come with rosewood. So yeah, the original pickups that came in this, so the Epiphone pickups, the reason I can tell that they are the original pickups is, you see the screws, the pole pieces that are on there? Something that Gibson and obviously Epiphone do is they line up all the pole pieces so they're all in a straight line. But normally if somebody's had a guitar a while, or it's gone to a tech or whatever, you would adjust them pole pieces so they'll be all over the place. But I can tell that's never happened, so I'm fairly certain that these are the original pickups that came with it. 2 volumes, 2 tones, but what makes this slightly different from the Gibson is push-pull on those. So you can split or tap, I don't know what it is, but essentially make these single coils instead of humbuckers, I think. Quite a neat little feature, makes it quite a little versatile guitar. So yeah, like I say, incredibly blown away by it. It's a fantastic guitar. I kind of want to keep it, and that's where we're getting to now, when I was talking about colour and stuff, and I said I'd come back to it. So, this guitar isn't for me. I haven't told him yet, this will be him finding out on this video, but this guitar is for my friend Newton. So, Newton very kindly, a while ago, decided he was going to make me a knife from scratch. So he messaged me on Facebook, and he was messaging me about, you know, specs of the knife and stuff, and just made it, just knocked it up from scratch. It took him a long time to do, and it's fantastic. I'm completely blown away when I got it. I'll put a picture on now so you can see what he made. But he also made me a hatchet as well, once again, from scratch. Something that's quite useful for me as well, because I like sitting in the garden and having a beer, or sitting in the garage and having a beer as it is tonight. And, yeah, when I need to burn stuff and make some kindling, that's exactly what I needed. So yeah, he'd made these out the blue for me, and I was completely taken back by it, if I'm honest. I appreciate when somebody puts time into something, and I mean, that's the only thing you've got in life is time. That's the only meaningful thing you can give anyone. And yeah, completely taken back. So I said I was going to give him a Telecaster, and get him up and running on the guitar as thanks. So when I strung up the Telecaster I was going to give him, I couldn't do it. I could not do it. It's a Seafoam Green Esquire, and what I was going to do was put the neck pickup back into it, because it originally came with a neck pickup. Having an Esquire as a sort of learner guitar is pretty ballsy. You need to have pretty big balls to be playing a single pickup Telecaster. But yeah, like I say, I strung it up. I couldn't do it. I'd done hundreds of gigs with that guitar, and it's battered. And I just thought it's not a very nice guitar to give to someone kind of in the state that it is. But it has had a hard life. So I was thinking about what I could give Newton. Now, Newton came to the James Oliver gig with me the other week over at Malton, and he'd asked me, do I still have my 339? Which obviously I don't. But it had got me thinking, I wish I could find him a 339, because he loved that guitar. Now, I don't have Gibson money to be giving away, unfortunately. Sorry, Newt. But originally I thought I'd look for an Epiphone Dot, which is like the bigger version of this. But the 339 is perfect, really. Now, Newton's into B.B. King, and I wanted to get him his own Lucille. So this is a baby Lucille, if you will. Yeah. So, happy new guitar day, Newt. I hope you enjoy it. I mean, like I say, I'm completely blown away by this. I would absolutely gig the shit out of this if I owned it. In fact, I'm going to start looking to buy myself one of these because I like it that much. The build quality on it's fantastic. It's just, like I say, it was completely neglected when I got it, and yeah, it just sings. It's fantastic. It's a really well put together guitar. So yeah, that's the story of the 339. I'll just show you something else. Newton's always been good with his hands at making stuff, and when we were kids sat in a park 20 years ago, Newton decided to start carving out this stick which he'd found on the floor. I've got to get out of the way so it can focus. It's the ugly stick. It's been a bit of a running joke as this, because he just threw it away at the end of the night, and I picked it up, and I was like, "You can't just throw that away. It's ace. It's the ugly stick." And I've kept onto it. So this must be 20 years old, maybe. And it's just a bit of a joke, but once again, it's one of them things, someone put time into it, and I like stuff like that. So now it lives in the cave and reminds me of my childhood. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I would thoroughly recommend picking up one of these if you're thinking about learning guitar, or you want a sort of mid-priced, mid-range guitar. Unbeatable, as far as I'm concerned. I'll play you out now with a little bit of Kirk Fletcher on it. This is El Medio Stomp. So enjoy it, and thanks very much.